Hello everybody, I'm William Hall. I run William Hall Auto Interiors. Uh, got several people that's asked me, especially over the past several months, about my work and what I do and why I do it certain ways that I do it. And I'm going to try to explain some of it, why it's done that way. When when uh, when I have a customer come in to the shop, I go over everything about his seat, or I go over everything about what he's wanting done. Most of the time, I give him a price. After it's all said and done, it can be by the hour, or it can be by the job. Sometimes I kind of, unless I really go over it in detail or about to take it apart, you can't really tell if you do it by the job. Because if you just look in there and you see one thing or two things that's and you really can't tell till you get into it. But I'm going to explain to you why I do some of the things that I do. Alright? It really makes the shop look bad if you get into something and the customer runs out of money, or either runs low on money, or either says, look, I just don't want to spend it, I just don't want to put that much into it, and you're already into the job. So I'm going to show you a few things that some things that we was working on, like this right here. This right here goes right beside the back seat. If you're a trim shopper, you know what I'm talking about. It's on a 4-door car. This goes at the back seat at the edge, right before it gets to the sail panel, right up here. And sometimes you can use the same stuff. And this right here is the old stuff. So if it's not flat, or it don't look just right, it will make your work look bad. These pieces right here, like this, that right there, that goes on the pillar post right behind the driver. I didn't get to see that, but it was something come up on the screen. This right here is old. It's almost about to break. So we made these pieces right here, and we took these pieces right here and made them out of plastic. You see? So if a bunch of this stuff y'all don't get to see on here, because a lot of it kind of takes, it's time consuming and it takes a while. But I'm going to show you some of the stuff that whenever we tell the customer, hey, this needs to be replaced, and the customer don't replace it, how it can make my work look bad, and it can make your work look bad. So I'm going to walk right back here, and I'm going to get one of them and just show you. Alright. This right here, that's a door panel. Goes on a 1960s model Cadillac. This customer, I told him, I said, look, you need to replace this panel board. It's really bad. So what did we have to do? We had to get it soaking wet, because it was real wavy, really bad, and it still is down at the bottom. So whenever he puts it on, and that customer, just say somebody else sees it, and they're going to say, well, who did it? And he's going to tell them me, and it's going to, if it looks bad, it's going to be my fault. It's not going to be his. that they're never going to question that he didn't want to spend the money after I told him a couple of times. They're not going to question that. I promise you. But you can look at the back of the board and you can see how bad it is. And it's actually still bent right here, right in here. So what do you do when the customer comes in and you say, hey, this board, I got the boards, we got a stack of them over here. We could have put this on top of it, cut it out. I could have ate it. I could have ate it and gave it to him. But I've done this 40-something years. What if I did that to every customer in 40 years? You know, I give a bunch away already. But what I'm saying is when the customer comes in and you do a job, and you say, well, hey, you know, this needs replacing, and all of them were about the same. So you can tell they're pretty flat now, but I had to put like 400 pounds of weight on it, lay it down, put a piece of plywood over it, soak this board until it dried flat. That way, it don't do justice right now showing you how it looks right now, because it was real bad, but it took a lot of time, you know. And if you get paid by the hour like I did on these right here, there's a big difference between restoring and recovering. Big difference. His seats, I restored them. Whenever I gave him a price on recovering, but I restored them kind of like for the video, even though I didn't do the whole thing because it was like so long. It takes a long time to do it. This right here, right there, this right here is a package tray. That's what they call it. Goes in front of the back glass. Used to, when I was coming up, you could get back there and lay down while your mom and daddy was going down the road, and nobody said nothing about it. But nowadays, you probably wind up in jail. Child services will be trying to come in and take you away from your parents. But we were growing up in a different time. Same thing. See the board? It's broke right here. This right here is the speaker panel. That right there is screen wire to hold that right there together, because it had a bunch of holes punched in it. If you can see that. See? And the sound, I guess, will still go through it because that's perforated all the way through. I think this is the widest material that it might be the widest material that they make, I don't know. But I can tell you it's pretty doggone wide. When we done this job, I had some pretty white, but the guy said, my wife wants it as white as it can be. And that's what we done. Which I ordered some stuff that I thought looked better. The pattern matched it better. That Cadillac come with like what they call a recessed star. I know y'all might not know what that is, but it's a lot of cars came with recess. It's called a recessed star for the headliner. Hey, I ain't worked today. I just had some questions and stuff, and there's been several questions that have been asked to me about different things. I don't know if this will pick up, but I'm gonna try to attempt to show you some. We'll go next door. I'm gonna see if I can show you some the difference in Hey, it's raining here in Georgia. Hope it don't turn off too cold. And it's dark. Okay. We over here in this building now. Hopefully the camera will pick up in here. This seat right here, this is one that we done. It's got the center fold down armrest. This right here folds down. Hey, this thing was like heavy as a car right here. This thing was heavy for this kind of car. This is the difference right here in restoring. Turn this light on. All right. You see how that right there looks? All this right here looks brand new. Better than it did when it was new, for real. It's a big difference in restoring something than it is to just recover it. And a lot of my customers say, hey, why did you do that? Why would you cut them corners? Well, see, the reason is the customer don't want to pay for it a lot of times. Some of them do, some of them never question it. And then some of them says, don't do it. It's just do it as cheap as you can. Like, after they done spent like $4,000 or $5,000, they will say, look, I just can't put no more into it. So you just do what I can afford at this point. And that's, I hate to put my golf cart outside, but that's the way it is. You got to do what the customer asks for. If you're in business, the customer says, hey, I'm out of money. I can't do this. I can't spend no more. Just fix it best you can. But by the time, cheaper sometimes ain't always better. Like for me to do them door panels back there, which I had already gave him a price on them. It was my fault. So, but if I was doing them by the hour, it would have been better for me to cut them boards out instead of me putting that much time in it versus fixing it. I could have fixed it the right way versus the time, but I had then gave him a price on them, and I went back and talked to him, and I said, look, you really need all this right here replaced. He wouldn't have it. So he wanted to go the cheaper route. He never even asked how much it was going to cost, but he didn't want to do it. So to sort of clear up a lot of stuff that we do out here, it's got a lot to do with the money of what the customer can afford. Even though it can make your work look bad, if it's so bad, I won't do it. I'll just say, hey, if you're not going to do it right, I'm not going to do it. But we were already into this job right here, kind of big, and a customer had a viewer had a real good question about a truck that I done, and it was putting carpet in a Ford, and he wondered why I didn't spend $10, you know, or the customer didn't spend $10 and put a little bit of a rust protected on the floor, and the customer wouldn't do it. So you got to kind of go with what the customer says. And I've had all kinds of customers, you just wouldn't believe them. So if you run a shop like this and you're trying to figure out how to price this stuff, the best thing to do is either take it, if you're going to give a price up front, you might want to try to take it apart and look at it and see what all's broke or what you might wind up fixing, because if you go ahead on and give that price, they're not going to want you to adjust it. The customer's going to want you to do it for what you said. So you need to make your mind up if you are willing to gamble before you get into it. All of them ain't just exactly alike. You can get into it and it has some broken pieces. And they're going to say, well, hey man, I mean, you told me this is what you're going to fix it for. So, pick your own battles on what you want to do or what you think you can do. So, I just wanted to go over this, throw these points out there on why I do some of the things that I do. Anybody got any questions? I might can answer them. No questions? Shoot me a message if you've got a question that you think of later on. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We should be having some pretty good videos coming up for long. We got a bunch of big stuff out of the way, and we're going to be doing some little stuff. We can't get involved where it takes all day long to shoot these videos, because people just, I don't think, will watch them. And unless we cut them down and edit them and take a bunch of the time out. So you need to know what you're getting into sometimes. We do mainly the live videos. No, it's not O'Neal. O'Neal's gonna come up here. It's a guy, he's in Florida. He used to work up here with me. He's gonna come up here and he's gonna try to show me how to do some good stuff with the videos. Maybe I can make some good ones. But thanks everybody for watching, and like I said, we got a bunch of small jobs, a bunch of simpler stuff than what some of this other stuff that we've been doing that y'all ain't even seen. Like I said, I wish we could do it, maybe some longer ones and stuff, but we're running shop, customers in and out here all the time. I can't be running, you know, who knows what they'll say. You know, they'll say anything. They might come in the door cussing. Who knows? So, not at me, just in general, you know, talking a bunch of trash. So, thanks everybody. I'll see y'all first of the week, making some videos, have some good stuff, and we'll see you then. Thanks.